Riddle me this, riddle me that. Which city has the world's 7th largest natural harbor? Yes, you're right, Kingston. That was an easy riddle though. Between today's pages, we'll see how much you know about our cities as we join other countries in observing World Cities Day. Hi, welcome to another edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm Theodore Henry. Stay with us to learn and grow.
If you're watching the JIS, you're always in the know when it comes to government information. Keep watching, keep informed, and tell your friends. JIS, your #1 source for government info.
Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, October 31. The governing Jamaica Labour Party will soon control a marginally higher majority in the House of Representatives after yesterday's by-election in 3 constituencies. Preliminary results from the Electoral Office of Jamaica EOJ show the JLP candidate in Southeast St. Mary, Dr. Norman Dunn, winning the seat, which was won by the People's National Party candidate in the last general election. It was left vacant after Member of Parliament, the late Dr. Winston Green, died in August of this year. Meanwhile, former opposition senators Mark Golding and Angela Brown-Burke will be taking their seats in the lower house after claiming victory in the St. Andrews Southwest and St. Andrews South by-elections. These by-elections became necessary after former Finance Minister Dr. Omar Davies and former Prime Minister and PNP President Portia Simpson-Miller retired from representational politics this year. Once the EOJ's preliminary count is confirmed, it's expected that the governing Jamaica Labour Party will now have 33 constituency seats in Parliament to the People's National Party's 30 seats. It's one more than the JLP controlled after the February 2016 general elections. The highest voter turnout in yesterday's by-elections was in the St. Mary Southeastern constituency, where 52.3% of registered voters cast their ballots up to 3 p.m. The Electoral Office reported a 21.7% voter turnout in St. Andrews Southwestern and 25.5% in St. Andrews Southern. In other news, the Kingston Public and Spanish Town hospitals are expected to get new elevators in short order. The Ministry of Health will be signing contracts tomorrow to replace elevators at the 2 institutions. The elevator replacements are being financed by grants from the National Health Fund at a total cost of $25.5 million. The work will be undertaken by Jamaica Electrical and Mechanical Engineers Limited. In other health news, Portfolio Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton has announced that an assessment of the island's healthcare infrastructure will be undertaken over the next 6 months. This is in keeping with health infrastructure development and upgrading being undertaken by the government in order to better align the provision of healthcare services with the needs of the population.
And what we're going to do basically over the next 6 months or so is to look at the healthcare infrastructure generally in the country, juxtapose that against the population and the health profile, and determine within those institutions what needs to be added in terms of specialist care, additional beds, additional operating theatre. While we're doing that, we're looking at expertise that needs to come on board over time, nurses, doctors, etc.
Dr. Tufton was speaking at the recent handover of a biodigester septic tank built at the Noel Holmes Hospital by the Scientific Research Council. The National Health Fund provided more than $40 million for the wastewater treatment system as well as the renovation of the hospital's general and maternity wards and the Hanover Health Department offices located on the premises. National Youth Month activities have been expanded with the addition of several new initiatives. Among them, a day of voluntary service targeting early childhood institutions. The island's youth clubs will also be revitalized through the provision of 55 grants under a program called Charge Up. And Youth State Minister Floyd Green says through a socially aware tour, the island's young people will get useful tips on how to use social media responsibly.
So we're looking at a stronger values and attitude program, right? We're looking at more deans of discipline, right? We're looking at a comprehensive safety and security model that speaks about personal upliftment, self-belief, because oftentimes bullying comes from a deficiency in the bullying and trying to find another outlet. And as such, we have to speak self-belief, we have to preach self-belief.
Minister Green was speaking at the recent media launch of National Youth Month, which is being celebrated in November under the theme Substance Over Hype. Youth Month 2017 will also feature a Twitter and Facebook town hall, a Vision 2030 event, Fiwi Voice Youth Perspective Forum, and a sports competition. Youth ambassadors will be installed on November 23. National Youth Council elections will be held on November 25, and the National Youth Parliament will be held on November 27. Youth Month activities will cap on December 3 with the Prime Minister's Youth Awards for Excellence. And finally, the 3rd International Conference on Technical and Vocational Education and Training, TVET, will be held next month in Montego Bay. The Joint Committee for Tertiary Education, JCTE, is collaborating with the Ministry of Education to host the conference from November 29 to December 1 at the Holiday Inn Resort. Conference chair and the JCTE's Senior Marketing and Business Development Consultant, Jacqueline Knight Campbell, says the event will bring together individuals and organizations that are collaborating to develop the education sector.
It's a leadership conference which helps to educate, brainstorm, and provide the platform for building awareness on the readiness, the activities, and the international exposure and exchange of what is happening in education.
Ms. Knight Campbell was speaking at a recent JIS think tank. Persons are being invited to present research papers at the TVET conference. These should be submitted to the JCTE by Thursday, November 9. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.
Another riddle for you. Riddle me this, riddle me that. Which Jamaican city is the birthplace of reggae? Right again, Kingston it is. I'll have to make these riddles harder, you know. But yes, it was Kingston's rich musical legacy that convinced UNESCO to designate the capital as a creative city of music. Kingston is, however, much more than music. Embedded within its streets are several creative and other industrial sectors. Let's journey through Kingston town.
Kingston, modern-day Jamaica's capital city, is home to the world's 7th largest natural harbor and the island's center of finance and commerce. This is a city which hath foundation.
In Kingston town.
Towards the end of the 16th century, Kingston was an area of housing boasting little more than a few pigs, pig farmers, and fishing shacks. Following the catastrophic earthquake of 1692, a major portion of the nearby flourishing town of Port Royal perched on the opposite side of the harbor went crashing beneath the sea. Survivors found refuge on the piece of land encasing the harbor that would come to be known as Kingston. The vision for a new town was to be realized after the purchase of the land from Governor William Beeston. Soon after, a new town based upon a town plan drawn up by John Goff, a surveyor, was succeeding the commercial epicenter of Port Royal. Kingston was declared by law as a parish in 1693 and a town 20 years later. The natural harbor by the town enabled it to flourish as an important seaport, and traders who grew fat on the profits built fine houses throughout the town. As the center of commerce and fashion, Kingston rapidly outshined Jamaica's tranquil official capital in Spanish Town. Talks of moving the capital from the St. Catherine area to the big city created a split between the planter and the administrative classes, who were resisting the move, and the merchants wanting the capital in Kingston. But the move was carried out by Governor Charles Knowles, who passed an act transferring the government offices to Kingston in 1755. Controversy brewed, and the merchants' success was short-lived, as soon after Governor Knowles was recalled to London in 1758, the next governor repealed the act. Spanish Town was once again the capital. A huge procession of carts brought back the island's papers to Spanish Town. A victory against Knowles and the merchants, celebrated with bonfire and a burning effigy of Knowles and his ship. Kingston would continue to grow as Jamaica's center of commerce, but there would be challenges. In 1874, the area had to deal with the major challenge of overcoming a devastating hurricane. In the aftermath, development plans progressed, and in 1802, the town was granted city status. Growth continued despite other calamities, such as a huge fire in 1843, a cholera epidemic in 1850, and another fire in 1862. Rapid infrastructural developments began following the arrival in 1866 of Governor Sir John Peter Grant. Kingston was embellished with its first piped water system, a gas works, a fire brigade, and a market. Improvements were made to streets and public buildings and a mule-drawn tram car. The city of Kingston was now a much healthier and more prosperous place to live. The unavoidable came in 1872. Over a century after it was first changed, the capital was once again transferred to Kingston, this time permanently. In 1897, electricity generation began by West India Electric Company, and the city saw the installation of its first electric line from the tram depot on Orange Street to the foot of King Street. Over the centuries, Kingston has transformed with more appealing features and sturdy buildings, while preserving its historically grand architectural structures. At the center of downtown Kingston, the powder blue Ward Theatre flanks Parade on the north. To the east, Coke Methodist Church. The first Methodist chapel built in Jamaica, the beautiful Kingston Parish Church, sits south, and westward is Coronation Market, the largest and most frequented in the island. Kingston remains the seat of power and the main port of entry to the island, with the Norman Manley International Airport perched on the breathtaking Palisado Strip. Beyond that is the quite laid-back historic Port Royal, with its interesting tourist attractions and fine seafood restaurants, fort, and museums displaying major archaeological findings. With its grandiose meeting place, public green space, and a alluring harbor front, Kingston has much to offer. This city, the center of financial and commercial activity, has a rich history as a place for entertainment and other social events. Whether it's that relaxing moment in the cool with a wonderful view of the harbor, or partying under the stars, a hotel ballroom event, or a walk with nature, Kingston has an oasis for everyone. And as birthplace of our world-renowned reggae music, it also sits proudly as the epicenter of the island's musical and artistic culture. Trench Down, the origin of many important reggae bands, including the Wailers, the Heptones, and the Abyssinians. The National Gallery, housing the leading art collection in Jamaica with important artworks produced chiefly by Jamaican artists, along with some international masters. Today, residents of both parishes of Kingston and St. Andrew are considered citizens of Kingston. This has been the case since the merger in 1923 of the local government bodies of both parishes to form the Kingston and St. Andrew Corporation, the KSAC. The KSAC, with its full-time administrative staff, manages the affairs of the parishes based on its own policy the KSAC Act, and other laws and regulations defining its duties and powers. These include partnering with various departments and agencies of central government to provide general services for both Kingston and St. Andrew, referred to as the corporate area. Kingston, the smallest of Jamaica's parishes, covers an area less than 22 square kilometers, but together with St. Andrew, occupies 452.4 square kilometers. This sprawling urbanized area is the most densely populated of the parishes. During the 1960s, the fortunes of Jamaica's capital city had a major shift. With an increase in rural to urban migration, the city expanded to the north, where residential structures were converted for offices and other commercial purposes. New Kingston and Constant Spring developed to become new office nodes and business centers. City Kingston now has to regain lost grounds, and a rebuilding mode has been set in motion by governments over the years. That involves upgrading of the city's roadways and the creation of new ones, along with improvements to the waterfront. The rise of a series of multi-story buildings with modern architectural taste, apartment complexes, shopping arcades, restaurants, banks, and new office spaces are all planned. Old buildings in the city are being restored, and the stocks of housing in communities are being renewed. As this active transformation of the city gains momentum, its historic architectural character is being preserved as national monuments. There is now new life flowing through the area, as businesses are again seeing the capital as their home. And with its large natural harbor and ports, it's fast becoming the port of choice by shipping interests worldwide. This is Kingston, the city which hath foundation.
I have one for you now. Riddle me this, riddle me that. This railway station was built in this city around 1894. What's the name of the railway station? This one is much harder than the last one, don't it? We speak of none other than the Montego Bay Railway Station, built in the late 1900s. This timber building now stands strong as one of Jamaica's revered heritage sites. Next, a cultural stop at Jamaica's second city.
The Montego Bay Cultural Center is a licensed, registered visitors attraction, and it's also an entity of the St. James Parish Council, under which it houses various entities: the National Museum, National Gallery West, a town hall, which is a multi-purpose hall. The capacity for the town hall can seat 250 to 300 theater style. It also has under its covering a Freedom Monument as well as a bistro.
And what we do at the National Gallery West is to have either abridged versions of exhibitions that we have had in Kingston that have gotten critical acclaim, or we have exhibitions that have been specifically curated for our Western audience.
The National Museum Jamaica is a division of the Institute of Jamaica, and we have a couple spaces at the Montego Bay Civic Center, an arrangement of artifacts that speak both to national history and in particular to Montego Bay's own history. So we have two spaces, one of the exhibitions from Montego Bay to the world. The other space that we have is focused on Rastafari. Is one of the the traditions that naturally attract international tourists to come to the center.
The Montego Cultural Center offers the most comprehensive historic and cultural artistic exhibitions. We attract a wide range of individuals as well as school groups. Our numbers each month goes up to between 800 to 1,000, and the numbers continues to grow because of the ardent and aggressive marketing and sensitization that we have been embarking on in terms of promotion of all aspects. What we have realized is that by virtue of the fact that the rich history that we house at the cultural center, school groups now has also integrated into their curriculum, where it is mandatory that they should visit the center to be a part of the comprehensive historic resources as it relates to artistic as well as historic wealth of information that we have there. We have also been able to attract foreigners. Since November last year, we have been realizing influx of cruise ship passengers that have been coming into the center because of the wealth of information that can be garnered from the exhibitions that we have on display there. So we're out there. We have a website. Our website is montegobayculturalcenter.org, and it is up and running. The information is current. The center is managed by the board of directors, which is Montego Bay Arts Council Limited, which has direct oversight over the center. Currently, we're funded. Majority of our funding is through or from TEF. However, the ultimate goal and aspiration of the cultural center is to have it to be able to sustain itself. Hence, the in-house revenue generated entities, for example, the entrance fee, the gift and logo shop, the car park, which we manage at the back, the town hall, and the bistro. There's an entrance fee that we offer, and payments can be made both in local and foreign currency. Locally, it's $400, and foreign currency is $8 US. School groups as well as teachers, we allow them free access to come into the center. However, if parents or guardians are a part of the school groups, they will be charged the entrance fee. Our opening hours at the Montego Bay Cultural Center are Tuesdays to Sundays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Cervical cancer, caused by the human papillomavirus, HPV, is a major public health concern in Jamaica. Almost 50% of the women diagnosed each year die from this preventable disease. To prevent cervical cancer and save lives, the Ministry of Health is providing the bivalent HPV vaccine to girls ages 9 to 14 years free of cost. Parents, give your girls a fighting chance against this deadly disease. The bivalent HPV vaccine is safe and provides 90 to 100% protection against HPV type 16 and 18, which are responsible for most HPV-caused cancers. Call the Ministry of Health's toll-free line 1-888-1-LOVE or 1-888-663-5683 for more information, or email us at hpvinfo@moh.gov.jm. You can also find further information on the website moh.gov.jm, as well as the Ministry of Health's social media channels. Okay, today's last riddle. Where in Jamaica is Emancipation Square found? Did you guess Spanish Town, the country's first capital? Let's go down to Spain and stop at a critical agency in the heartbeat of St. Catherine.
In January 2017, The Jamaica Customs Agency, JCA, launched its public education initiative, Customs Meets the Community, under the tagline, Reaching Our Customers Where They Are. The team has since left footprints in St. Elizabeth and most recently in a town with history carved in its buildings, St. Diego de la Vega, Spanish Down, St. Catherine.
This initiative is allowing us to augment our outreach activities, increase awareness about our mandates and roles, and to better connect with all of you, school administrators, business people, church leaders, charity groups, political representatives, entrepreneurs, vendors, returning residents, and the man on the street.
The agency's motto, Country Above Self, speaks volumes on this campaign trail. In addition to educating its stakeholders on customs procedures and processes, Jamaica Customs is bringing into focus its partnership with other regulatory agencies and its obligation to act on their behalf. One such agency is the Plant Quarantine Inspection Branch, an agency of the Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries, MICAF. This agency is the competent authority for the importation of plants and plant produce.
Usually when they take away your plant and plant produce, you usually say, look, cause someone carry God in yard, go eat it, right? We're not at every single seaport and every single airport. So we rely heavily on the Jamaica Customs Agency to ensure that we're able to detect when it is that something is coming into the country that is not authorized and that runs the risk of threatening our agricultural sector and the environment.
Over the past 15 years, Jamaica has had a total of 6 outbreaks. In 2016, approximately $78 million was spent to contain the frost pod rot on cocoa outbreak. These outbreaks stifle economic development. The items confiscated by customs are not taken for personal use, but are seized and destroyed by the Ministry of Agriculture. Breaches are punishable by law under the Plant Quarantine Act of 1993. For more information on importing plants and plant produce, contact the Plant Quarantine Office at 977-6401. The Spanish Town community was also eager to address the issue of missing items from shipments and the procedure to be followed to rectify the matter.
If the items are damaged or if items are stolen before the goods leave customs, there is a remedy. Customs work in tandem with the warehouse keeper. The role of the warehouse keeper is to ensure that your items are secured.
The warehouse keeper is a separate entity from the Jamaica Customs Agency, and they have an obligation to the agency and to you as a customer.
So if you ship a barrel from New York, and when you come to collect it after they have called you, the barrel has gone missing, the warehouse keeper will be charged for a breach of the Customs Act. And they have to compensate you for the item that has gone missing.
In the event that you suffer a loss, file a report with the customs officer who will make a claim to the warehouse keeper. The JCA's partnerships with various organizations has resulted in a more functional framework. These partnerships have strengthened the JCA's ability to deliver on its commitment to you, the customer, as the organization works to improve trade facilitation and border protection capabilities and economic viability.
Yes, I'm born, yes, me come from. I am me live and I am me intend fit on. Regardless of the economical condition, you must admit this is a glorious land. So what a nice place to live.
This is where the magazine closes for today. If you need more information on the features aired in today's show, click on our webpage, jis.gov.jm. There you may also find additional info on government programs and policies. For other television features, visit our YouTube channel. We're also on various social media sites. You may also download our app from the Google Play Store to stay informed while you're on the go. I'm Theodore Henry. Do have a wonderful evening.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.